When I first started at Cayuga Centers, I did a couple of trips out while I was finishing up with my previous job. I began meeting some of the staff, I began meeting some of the board, and then I arrived here late in June for my first full day. I set the task of meeting and having a personal conversation with everybody in the agency. I would go and I would get here early, and then I would disappear for a while. We didn't have laptops or work in our rooms back then. It was pre all of that kind of things. I think there were 4 whole computers in the entire agency when I went and I arrived. And I would then come back in the middle of the night, and over the course of 2 weeks, I got to meet all the night people. I think I would startle them at first because there'd be this strange guy knocking on the door, but nobody called the police and I wasn't arrested. And I kept saying to folks, tell me who we are, tell me what you see. Hi, I'm Edward Myers-Hayes, President and Chief Executive Officer of Cayuga Centers. I've just started my 28th year of service here. I arrived in June of 1995, and in this period of time, I've been an incredible part of an incredible change of the agency as we've gone and we've found new and better ways of meeting children and families. People ask me what I do. I probably cause a lot of work for my staff. I try to go and I try to look at what we're good at. I try to look at what we need to get better at, and I try to help us to get better. I'm a real believer in growth and change, and I feel my largest task is to make sure that we're going and growing and learning and ready to meet tomorrow's challenges. We have been around for 170 years. There's a lot of things we can be proud of in those 170 years, but I think the 170 years is not a resume as much as it's a call for us to do even more in our next 170 years. As I look at the future of Cayuga Centers, I think I look at the present. I want each staff member to feel as if they own the agency and that their insights, their talent, their wisdom can reshape the agency into anything they want. I want people to talk about needs and talk about ways that we can go and ways we can meet needs. Our plans are to give good services. Our plans to continue to grow our quality. Our plans to go and our plans to touch lives. Our plans to go and see what research is telling us about new emerging interventions and to go and to learn those interventions. Our plan as we deal with counties and the state and the federal government and everybody else is to be the provider when they have a problem they come to and say, Cayuga Centers, can you go and can you take this on?
I'm in a position now where I get to kind of choose who we do business with in the county, and we continue to choose Cayuga Centers because of the work that their staff does, that they really kind of deliver what they say they're going to deliver.
One of the things that I'm very proud of is I did this for 35 years. I could have gone different places. I could have went up the ladder of management, and I had several opportunities. I just enjoyed being in the trenches, dealing with the kids. I like that connection with the kids.
I started my professional career here, and I will end my professional career at Cayuga Centers.
Hi everyone, I am Lorraine Sanchez. I am one of the Chief Operating Officers at Cayuga Centers. I am responsible for our child welfare and juvenile justice programs. I am originally from the South Bronx, so it's wonderful to be in the same room with all of you ladies. It's an honor. Thank you so much to Snaps Media as well as my agency for the nomination. At first, I didn't believe it. I honestly thought it was spam. I went around asking to 5 individuals, is this true? It's such an honor. It's a pleasure to be here with you all, and I look forward to connecting with you.
It was Ed's passion for the provider and the community-based organization that shone through and really changed my perspective. You know, still today, model developers, I think many have this people look at them and see them as kind of bullies, forcing community agencies to do things in certain ways, not valuing the kind of long-term history and the long-term skills and the deep benches that community agencies like Cayuga have. So Ed brought that to the table, and it really resonated. Ed is also a person, and Cayuga is a center where he was willing to bet on something new to make a difference for families and for the community. That was his main interest in my memory. And that's what drew me to Cayuga Centers. Here's a person that was touching a lot of families, that was willing to do whatever it took to be helpful, and willing to do new and different things also, and who had a voice that said, hey, don't forget that us providers have skills, us providers have perspectives that could make the work of something like FFT even better. That perspective is what drew me to Cayuga Centers. That perspective is what drew me, quite frankly, to Ed and Ed's leadership in this particular